Hi everyone, welcome to the lottery for 72 Berkeley number 3 resale. I'll do a quick introduction and then we are going to wait just a couple more minutes for people to sort of filter in. But to begin, I'm Ben Weiner, Inclusionary Housing Specialist. We also have Joseph Theall. Am I saying that right? Theall. It's the first time I've had to. Joe Theall, who is our housing counsel, who's going to be helping us out with the selection. There's Shannon Lawler over tracking the results on the whiteboard and is our housing intake specialist. And then also Alana Gaffney, our program manager, inclusionary program manager, is on the chat. She'll be answering any questions. So again, we'll just give another minute or so for people to sort of trickle in, and then we're going to get started. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I'd like to do is just a quick overview of the process and a couple of reminders. So to begin, the way that this is going to work, we're going to have two different selection processes. The first one is going to be for the Somerville preference applicant pool. So we have each of the Somerville preference applicants as well as the applicants with no preference. Here, their unique identifiers are here. The first pool to go in will be Somerville preference. And those folks will be the ones listed first on the wait list for the unit. So essentially, if you do have Somerville preference, you'll be ahead of those without the Somerville preference who come after that group of Somerville preference applicants. And a quick overview of exactly what these unique identifiers mean, just in case you were sort of wondering. So this first thing right here, I think it might be backwards, so apologies, but the first piece here is unique to everyone's application. That's the unique number that was assigned to you for your application. The second piece here just means the eligibility tier, which is 80% of the area median income. It's how much the maximum income amount is for the unit. Two, it's a two-bedroom unit. And then the last piece, you'll either have an SP or an NP. SP means that you have Somerville preference according to the information you provided in your application. And NP would mean that you do not have preference. It's no preference. And then as far as what are the next steps after the lottery, we will be reaching out within 24 hours to the winner. So if you provided an email, that's going to be the first thing we'll do is we'll try to reach out to you via email. If you did not, we'll reach out to you by phone. Whatever it is, but we'll be reaching out to you immediately, pretty much just within the next day. So if you do not hear from us, what that means is you most likely were not selected first. The way that this typically works is we'll reach out to the first household, go through the income certification process, and if they're eligible, then we'll continue forward. So typically, if you don't hear from us, don't worry about like, do I need to get anything ready? Because we do immediately reach out to that first household who are the ones that need to be concerned with getting their documentation submitted and all of those things. So I think that's everything to talk about before we get started. So without further ado, we're going to start again with the Somerville preference selection. And I'll show each of these unique IDs as they go into the wheel. So starting off, this is Somerville preference number 1. Two. Three. Somerville preference number 5. Somerville preference 7. Eight. Nine. 10. And Somerville preference number 11. All right. Close it up. Give it a spin. Put that one back in there. Let me make sure that you're. All right. So the first selection for Somerville preference is 9. So it's 982 SP. All right. So the second selection is number 1 Somerville preference. Selection number 3 is Somerville preference 10. Selection number 4 is Somerville preference 5. And selection number 5 is Somerville preference 7. Let's give it a quick spin and check for us. Yeah. Selection number 6 is Somerville preference 3. Selection number 7 is Somerville preference 8. Selection number 8, Somerville preference 2. And selection number 9 is Somerville preference 11. All right, so that concludes the selection for the Somerville preference pool. Again, we'll be reaching out to the first person selected within the next day. So if you have number 9, you'll be hearing from us. Now we'll begin with the non-preference applicants, starting with non-preference number 6. Number 12. And number 13. Selection number 1 for no preference, also number 10 overall on the wait list, is no preference number 12. Selection number 2 is no preference 4. Selection 3 is no preference 13. And selection 4 is no preference 6. Do we have any questions in the chat so far? All right, so that concludes the selection process for the lottery. We'll hang here for just a few minutes in case you do have any questions. Feel free to put those in the chat. And otherwise, that pretty much concludes things. But please let us know if you have any questions at all. All right, everyone. Well, it doesn't seem like there are any questions. If anyone does have any questions, you can contact us. The best way to reach us is most likely the inclusionary email, which Alana has posted in the chat. Thanks so much. But once again, it's inclusionary@somervillema.gov. You can also reach us by phone, 617-625-6600, extension 2566. So please, if there are any questions at all, reach out to us. And otherwise, thanks so much for everyone for attending. And we'll end it there.